Welcome back to another GRE video. Today we're talking about quantitative comparison questions. The sponsor for today's video is my private tutoring. More on that at the end of the video. So this is another video in my series talking about quantitative comparison questions, which are pretty unique to the GRE and may give you a little bit of trouble because of that. But how they work is that there may be some sort of description and then you will be given two quantities. So just like this, you will see quantity A and quantity B. And you have four answer choices, which are always the same. Either quantity A is greater, quantity B is greater, the two quantities are equal, or the relationship between them cannot be determined. So in order to solve this, you can employ a variety of different strategies, and we're going to go over a few of them today. And this one, we will start off with a table. Now, generally, you will see a few questions that employ a table separately in the multiple choice, but for these, sometimes you'll see them as well. And this one, you obviously want to focus first on the title of the table. Here we're looking at the age distribution of employees of a business. So we have 5 different age intervals on the left, and then the number of employees that fall into them on the right. So we can take a look at them and then look at the two quantities. So on the left, we have quantity A, which is the range of the ages of the 20 oldest employees of the business, and quantity B, which is 11 years. A lot of times on these comparison questions, you will see this. So you'll see one quantity that asks you to do a little bit of calculation of some sort, and then compare it to whatever it is in quantity B. In this case, we have the range, which if you are unfamiliar with that, that is the difference between the highest number and the lowest number. So we're looking at the 20 oldest employees of this business, which means we can start by looking here with the age interval 55 to 64. We can see that there are 18 employees that fall under this category. So obviously that's not 20, so we have to go to the next interval, which has 21 total employees in it. So that's the 45 to 54 years. Now, here you can kind of realize that we don't actually know who the youngest employee is out of the ones that fall into quantity A. We don't have any information on the actual ages of each of those employees. And this is a big problem because we can guess that maybe the oldest employee is 64 years old, but technically we could have 18 people who are all 55 years old. Same thing for the next category. So we could have 21 employees that are all 45 years old. They could all be 54 years old, or they could be a total mix in between. And we have no idea how to separate out any of those actual numbers. And as a result, because we have this uncertainty and we have a lot of different options, we can say that the relationship between quantity A and quantity B cannot be determined. And again, the reason for this is because the number of employees is unclear. We're only given a range, an age interval for those, and we don't know exactly what the oldest and the youngest ages of those are. We can go to a next question as well. So for this one, we just have two quantities. So here, quantity A says the sum of the first 7 positive integers, and quantity B is 7 times the median of the first 7 positive integers. We want to first make sure we know all of this vocabulary. Positive integers, of course, are all whole numbers above 0. So 0 itself is not a positive integer. It is an integer, but it's not positive. If we have the first 7 positive integers, those are just going to be 1 through 7 here. We're going to take a look at the sum versus the median. So the sum is just adding all of those numbers together. In this case, all of them will equal 28. And for quantity B, we want to look at the median, which is the number straight in the middle. You want to have equal numbers on both sides of it. So in this case, it's the number 4 because we have 3 numbers that are less than 4 and 3 numbers that are greater than 4. Now remember, when you're talking about the median, it doesn't matter what those other numbers are, as long as 4 is in the middle and there are equal number of numbers on each side. In this case, we have 4 times 7, because that is what quantity B says, which equals 28. And if we compare those two, the sum of the numbers is 28. The median is also 28. So for this question, we're going to go with C, which is that the values are equal. Hopefully that can help you with other quantitative comparison questions. A few notes for summary, just so that you remember. You want to be comfortable identifying what is not written in the question. And this was shown with the first question with the table and the age intervals. That doesn't actually tell us anything specific, so we don't want to draw any incorrect conclusions because nothing is actually given to us. You also want to make sure that you are familiar with a lot of common math vocabulary. I have a few other videos on my channel talking about some of this common math vocabulary, but if it's been a while since you've taken math, you might want to review it. The last thing that I would say for these questions is you don't want to overthink a simple question. So for this question number 2 that we were looking at today, it was just testing your knowledge of basic vocabulary. So don't overthink that, just calculate it, compare it, and draw your conclusion. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If you want extra additional help with the GRE and your test is coming up, I do offer private GRE tutoring, and this is how I sustain my channel. How it works is you get your choice of whichever section you want to work on, so that can be writing, verbal, and or quantitative, depending on what you want to work on. And you and I can meet for a consultation. You can sign up for one in the description down below for free. And we come up with a study plan and session agendas, and throughout the sessions I'll give you sample questions, study resources, we can do content review if needed, and I can explain a few strategies and examples that can really help you out. I do offer a lot of flexible payment options and scheduling as well, and I have here a sample review of one of my students who really enjoyed working with me. So if this is something that you're interested in, please do let me know. Again, down below you'll find all the information to contact me or sign up for that. Otherwise, I hope you have a really great day and good luck on your GRE. Bye!